Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad that you are here with us today. Your soul is in the right place at the right time, and you are welcome here. We're going to sing about that.
That's right, everybody. Good morning. Your soul is welcome here. Let's all sing together.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In my soul, oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. Come on. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah. And my soul is welcome here. 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 Your souls are all welcome here. Oh, yeah. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, your soul is welcome. Well, that was a very energetic 9 o'clock welcome.
Okay, a special energy here today. Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you this morning. And your soul is welcome here, as is everyone else that is here this morning.
At least I was when I woke up this morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Reverend James, and good morning. We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, churches, mosques, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there's no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, either here in person or watching us online, we especially want to welcome you, because we know that you are not here by accident. Every one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're always so very excited to get together, even when it's raining. And we're also even more excited when you silence your electronic devices. And please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's take this moment and connect with this presence. And remember, this presence is everywhere, but most importantly, right where we are. And we are here to be the channels and the vessels for its expression, and to bring forth all of its qualities in our life and in our world. First and foremost, the quality and the whole important thing of love itself. For this is the foundation of our entire universe, and it's what makes the world go round. It keeps us together. And then we bring in all the qualities that are offshoots of this loving presence of peace and joy and harmony and wisdom and health and wholeness and vitality and vigor and all that is good and perfect as we bring it forth in our own imaginative ways. the Spirit of God needs us to shine its light. And we are reminded that we are the way that it gets around in this dimension. So as we do our part and anchor these qualities in our life through thoughts, through words, through actions, we begin to radiate of these qualities to such a degree that all those who cross our path or come within our own area of life, it begins to ignite something within them. There's a remembrance that they indeed are the light of the world as well. And more people begin to get in tune with this. We begin to uplift the entire world. So we're grateful for the opportunity to let God be God in us, to do our part to anchor these qualities in our world, so we can see ourselves as we are seen when we are at our highest and our best. And that is a reflection of the Spirit of the living God. For this and so much more, we're grateful and thankful as we go forth doing our part to anchor heaven or ever-expanding good in our world. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement. Let's affirm that together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that purpose and mission by embodying and fulfilling these unity or universal principles to the best of our ability. Again, let's affirm them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
And of course, there's always a lot of action here at Spiritual Life Center. So we have, on Wednesday nights right now, we have an ongoing class, but we are still having the community meal as well. So even if you're not in the class, we invite you to come, share the meal, sit around, have a nice conversation while everybody toddles off to class, and we can sit there and have a good time. And the food is absolutely delicious, of course. So 6 o'clock on Wednesdays, the community meal.
And we're having our Board of Trustees community meeting that's going to take place on Sunday, February the 4th at 1 o'clock. And the primary purpose of this meeting is to elect the nomination committee for our Board of Trustees recruitment. So we're in the process of recruiting new members for our Board of Trustees, and we put together a team that goes and helps identify and vets those to be presented to our congregation to be on our board for the next few years. So we invite you to be part of that. And remember to renew your governing membership so you will know who is eligible to vote. So you can be here either in person or on Zoom. That's on Sunday the 4th at 1 o'clock.
And we've got a bingo coming up, oops.
Just another reminder, apparently, to an annual renewal of your membership. Just remember.
We have another bingo coming up. Valentine's bingo. It's going to be February 9th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And you will be able to sign up and register and buy your cards and everything starting on Thursday. So we will send out a reminder, and we'll be talking about it again next week. But those of you who love bingo, this is your opportunity.
Well, for those of you who know, Monte Richardson made his transition recently, and we're going to do a special celebration of his life today at 12:45. Many of you may have known him. He's in the choir. He was on our board. He ran the Urantia group and just connected with a number of people. So if you'd like to be here for remembrance and celebrating his life, we're going to be here at 12:45 here in the sanctuary.
And of course, we always remind you every week that there are many activities that foster transformation here at Spiritual Life Center. So remember to check out our other activities and our small groups. You can go into the courtyard, look at the bulletin board, chat with the lovely ladies at the hub, and of course, anything you might want to find out is on our website.
Well, one of the reasons that folks come to a community such as Spiritual Life Center is just to connect with people of like minds and grow, develop, and unfold together and just share stories together. And we often do that when we have events or community meals or classes or marches, but we don't have to wait for anything special. We can connect with somebody right here and now. So I invite you to turn to a friend or a neighbor, and in a manner that feels comfortable for you, just say, "You are marvelous and glad you are here."
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. When I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. When I start my day with joy, and I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Let me hear you. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I feel it. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Take it away, William. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, one more time. Yeah. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. Awesome. William.
All right, let's settle into our seats and prepare for our meditation. We're going to speak our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. Now we're going to sing this beautiful chant. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace.
May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know love.
as we come into this time of quiet, just breathe naturally and simply become aware of how you relax with each breath. Breathe into the back of your heart. Melt into your seat. Relax your eyelids. And take another breath and allow your vision to become soft and cloudy as you close your eyes and float up into a light daydream. As you float along, you look down and you see a beautiful medicine wheel. 4 rainbow crystals mark the directions. And at the center of the medicine wheel is a smooth crystal disc emitting a pillar of light that reaches up and beckons you. Slowly, gently, you drift down through the pillar of light. And when your feet touch the crystal, your heart center immediately activates, and your own inner light expands and emerges with the crystal light. You are one in love and peace, and light pours from your heart center. And so now you turn and face the direction of the elemental beings, and you pour light into the earth beings, the soil, the rocks, the crystals, the air beings of wind and breeze and breath, the water beings, streams, rivers, oceans, rain, fire beings, small sparks, large flames, electricity, light. Bless them all with your love and peace. And now make a quarter turn in the direction of the botanical beings and pour your light into trees, flowers, grass, all beings that grow out of the earth elements. Bless them with your love and peace. And make a quarter turn to face the direction of the animate beings. Pour your light into the crawling, walking, flying, swimming beings, and bless them all with your love and peace. And make one more quarter turn to face the direction of the human beings. And pour your light into all of the people, all colors, creeds, concerns, all manner of being, and bless them all with your love and peace. And now slowly take a moment again to turn and face each direction once more and bow and seal your blessing with love and appreciation for all beings in all forms, in all circumstances, in the silence. Standing in that pillar of light, you know oneness with all beings. And now the light lifts you, and as you return to your world, please receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, though beings may appear different in physical appearance, you are all of the same energy, the same love, the only love, the holy love of the One. Remember this, always.
Press forward, move forward, forget your yesterday, learn from your mistakes, press forward, move forward, forget your yesterday and your mistakes. Press forward, move forward, forget your yesterdays, learn your mistakes. Press forward, move forward. It's over, come to it.
I came through.
God used it to make me better. It's over. I came through it. God used it to make me better. It's over. I came through it. God used it to make me better. It's over. I came through it. God used it to make me better. Forget your yesterday. Grow from your mistakes. Press forward, move forward, forget your yesterday, learn from your mistakes, move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. God loves you. I see your heart. We love you. See your heart.
Reminded
Oh,
that our world and our universe is always moving forward, moving upward. And we, being part of this presence that is with us always, are here to move forward as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we are reminded, no matter what we have done or not done in our life, no matter what the challenges may have been, there's always something within us that is telling us there is more in you, to do more, to be more, and express more of who and what we have come here to be. And we only do that when we begin to move forward and see the possibilities that Spirit has in tune for us. So we move forward. We no longer look back to the challenges, the difficulties, where we messed up. We don't even look back to those things that may have been good and stay stuck there because we don't ever want the good to get in the way of the better. There is more as we move forward. So the nature of our universe, the nature of life is growth. And the only way that we can grow is to keep moving forward, growing upward, and realizing there is more for us to reach for and to be. And as we begin to do that, others begin to see the same thing within themselves. And they move forward. And we begin to move our families forward, begin to move our communities forward, begin to move our country forward, begin to move the world forward. And we anchor on earth the magnificent miracles that are waiting for us always. When we release and let go of the past and return it to the nothingness from which it has come. For this and so much more, we are grateful, and we move forward. Amen. Amen. Thank you, William and Laree, moving us forward. I always sometimes feel that I'm like a historian as I look back and I can tell about events that others have to look up on Google. Time has gone by. But I remember back in late 80s, there were three very promising world-class runners. And they represented the country of Jamaica. And they were setting out to qualify for the Olympics in 1988. And of course, they were favored to not only qualify, but expected to win a medal or several medals in those events. But their dreams were crushed in an instant. They failed to qualify because during one of the races, one of the members of the team stumbled and knocked over two other the people that were part of the team, and they were knocked out of the race. Needless to say, they were bummed out terribly about that. Because imagine, people have been working like 4 years to be in that position. And then, boom, like that, it's squashed. And for a while, they dwelled on the mistakes they had made. They were blaming others, who messed up, who was to blame. And they were kind of in that mindset. And one of the runners suddenly had a revelation, had an inspiration. And in the moment, he just stopped dwelling on the misfortune of the past. And he caught a vision. He said, we could do something else. He decided that we could put together a bobsled team and enter the Winter Olympics. Now understand, it doesn't snow in Jamaica. They don't have no bobsled teams out there. But he decided to recruit a friend who happened to be the go-kart derby champion. And he figured, hey, close enough. Well, to make a long story short, they put together a team and they qualified for those Olympics, and they got into the final round of the competition, and they got to the final race. Unfortunately, they crashed, but the story turned out pretty good because they turned that story into a film, into a movie called Cool Runnings. And it became a box office success. Now, my understanding of the writers and the script of the movie took some creative license on writing the movie, but it's a good backdrop, I think, for my talk for the day, which is don't look back, except. Now, there are a couple of exceptions we'll look into this morning. Because we don't want to hear, first and foremost, about looking back all the time. You know, there's a statement in Proverbs in the 29 to 18th verse, it says that without a vision, the people perish. And ultimately, we must be captured by a vision in our life that's planted in our heart even before we took in this incarnation, before we were born, that pulls the highest and best out of us. Yet so many people live in retrospect. They live with a backward glance. They live life sometimes in a prison, and the doors are wide open to new possibilities, but they're afraid to leave where they are. They're living in a paradigm of habitual thinking that prevents the greatness from moving through them, but not us, not here. Sometimes we hear the word paradigm, these days. It's kind of thrown about a lot, and people say paradigm when they want to let people know they know something. They say something like, "Oh, a new paradigm is happening." And lets everybody know they know a little bit about what's going on in the world and maybe in their life. So I always say, if you don't know anything, when you walk into a room of strangers, just say, "Paradigm." And they'll look at you, "Boy, he must be deep." Say something that's the cellular level of my being. But a paradigm is nothing more than a habitual way of looking at life, a habitual way of thinking. And a paradigm shift means a person has stepped out of their habitual way of living and thrown the doors open so they can see new possibilities. And I'm sure that some of us, or most of us, have either lived or have lived in these prisons of habit. And the doors are wide open before us. But we're here today to talk about don't look back, accept, and I'll get into what that exception is. A person who personifies the backward glance or living in the past was Lot's wife in the book of Genesis. We discussed that story when we were in the Bible class a while back. Just to give a little background, we know that Lot and Abram, they were brothers. And Abram had answered an inner call of spirit to set up a new nation, a great nation, to fulfill the promises of God. And it says in that story that they were in Sodom and Gomorrah, and Sodom and Gomorrah is about to be destroyed. And an angel tells Lot to take his family and get out of Dodge, get out of the city. So Lot's taking his family away from Sodom and Gomorrah, which, by the way, it simply means the material way of seeing the world, the limited way of seeing the world, the surface way of living. That's the way we're viewing life when we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, because many of the stories, they represent something symbolic. Anyway, something old is being destroyed, and a new paradigm is about to happen. But Lot's wife looks back, and it says that when she looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt. Now, it has a couple of meanings for us. That means she was petrified with fear and died of a heart attack, perhaps. Or salt also symbolizes a preservative, preserving memories of how things used to be, longing for old ways and old days, and she was paralyzed, so she turned back, she turned to a pillar of salt when she looked back. It kind of reminds me of a young girl who was in Sunday school, and they were reading about the story of Lot's wife in the Sunday school lesson, and the little girl blurted out, "My mommy looked back and she turned into a telephone pole." I know there might be a little delay there, what that means. But the idea, we don't want to live from the backward glance. Sometimes we hear people speak about someone else and they say, "I knew them when. I knew her," and they're basically saying they think they're a big deal, but they're not that much. But it's an indication maybe the person is still living from a backward glance. And they only see where that person may have been in the past. And if anybody's ever trying to place that on you, and sometimes people look at me and say, "James, you're a minister? I mean, I know you. I know when we used to hang out doing X, Y, and Z." But when somebody says, "I knew you when," you can say, "You may have known me when, but God knows me now, then, and forever." I've always been something about me that's been all right with the presence of God. So a person living backwards will constantly be in that particular space. "Oh, I knew them when." Saying maybe they're not a big deal. They haven't done that much. "I knew them. I knew where they came from." And if they really knew where they came from, they know they came from the presence and the power and the love of God, as we all do. So we want to check ourselves as we're listening sometimes to talks, and I do the same thing. Sometimes there's a tendency to think, "Whoa, so-and-so would really get a lot out of this talk if they were here." But we want to be clear. Those talks are always for us. So we check ourselves where we're living with, oh, I knew them when, or to see where we are stuck and have turned our back or turned back and becoming petrified with a backward view and stunting our spiritual growth. There are those who are looking from the backward viewpoint and they're sometimes regurgitating, recanting, remembering childhood experiences. Sometimes we may store them up and refuse to get beyond them, refuse to be healed for them, refuse to reinterpret them, which is one of the reasons I think take the quantum living course. It'll help you, give you some power to reinterpret a story that you may have about yourself. But sometimes we kind of store them up and we save them just in case we need them for excuses for maybe why our life is not working the way that we want them to work right now. We keep them in our back pocket, so to speak. Someone come up and say, how you doing? Are you living your dream? And you say, well, when I was 5 years old, my mother dropped me and she thought it was funny. I've been emotionally scarred ever since. When I was 8, I didn't get that gift that I wanted. And, I was the oldest child. I was the middle child. I was the youngest child. Take your pick. Therefore, I never was quite able to get the love, the intimacy, the resources, whatever it was that I needed. I didn't know who my parents were, and, I was upset. I do know who they were, and I didn't like them. We can always come up with something. These individuals retell childhood experiences and create a paradigm of excuses so they can have something to fall back on just in case they can't live their vision. They've made no real decision to live their vision. They're kind of hoping that life will turn out okay. They're kind of hoping it's going to be all right, forgetting that they, like all of us, are co-creators of our own destiny. So on some level, we all have to choose whom we shall serve. It says choose God or mammon, the vision of the possibilities of the future, or the human Sodom and Gomorrah, the staying the same, or the sense consciousness, or just our three-dimensional way of seeing the world. So on some level, we have to cut away, or that means to decide everything that's not in keeping with the God vision that is there for us, so we can live the life that's there for us, and release anything to the nothingness which has come, so we don't look back. Sometimes people look back, and sometimes we may all do this sometimes and talk about the good old days. Sometimes we all have had our Instagram moment, 15 minutes of fame. I was on a plane one time, and there was some dispute about some person on the plane. They told the person to get off the plane. I don't know what was going on, and she was acting up, and somebody said something to her, and she said, "I'm Instagram famous. I don't know about you." All right. The idea. A lot of folks have not progressed further. And as soon as anybody talks about a vision of bringing more of ourselves out, they'll wax nostalgic and talk about the good old days. Sometimes our memory is not really that accurate because a lot of times they weren't that good. They were all right. No matter how good they were, we understand that they are building blocks and stepping stones to a greater expression of the God presence within us. Because, as I like to say, no matter what we've done or not done, there's always more to be expressed. So sometimes when we're living the good old days, we're wasting away the divine energies that are within us. And we're thwarting the capabilities that are waiting to come forth. In the Gospel of Thomas is one of those books that didn't make it in the formal Bible. There's a lot of great sayings in it. It says, if you bring forth that which is within you, it will save you. But if you do not bring out that which is within you, it will destroy you. And in some version it says it will kill you. And if in fact we're living in the good old days, then we're frustrating the divine power that's there in this moment to help us use and be everything that we are destined to be. And so there's an important question we have to ask ourselves. Is our vision and the subsequent goals, is it worthy of my life? Oftentimes we reverse the question and we ask ourselves, am I worthy of the vision? But it's really the other way around. Is this vision worthy of my life? Is it worthy of my time? Is it worthy of my attention? Is it worthy of my prayer work and my meditation? Is that vision and all the goals I'm holding in my awareness, is it worthy of me? If not, we got to get a bigger vision. Sometimes when people who have done great things in life, people will ask them, would they do something different? And they said, if I had to live my life over, I would have a bigger vision. And this is coming out of people who have done magnificent things in life and transformed consciousness. They said they dream too small. So you must ask, is the vision of my heart worthy of me as a child of God? And so we ask, we remember that God's gift to us is so much talent, so much capability, so much energy, that we cannot use it all or develop it all in a single lifetime. And our gift to God is to develop as much talent and capability as we can in a single lifetime. Amen. We want to hear that. Let's say it again. That God's given us so much, we can't develop it all. And our gift to God is to develop as much as we can. As I like to say, one of my grandmother used to say during her life, she's going to wear out, she's not going to rust out. And she was doing something up until the last day of her life. And if we think along these lines, we'll find ourselves making committed decisions, and we'll walk in the direction of that vision, and we'll break out of any mediocrity and begin to activate the great power that's within us. Even if we don't know how to do a particular thing, by willing to have a vision worthy of this life. And it will pull out things that maybe would have been pulled out unless we say yes to it. There's a statement that says, lift your eyes upon the hills which cometh your help, which means lift our attention, release excuses, make a decision. And decision means to cut away anything and everything not in alignment with the decision that we've made. We have to block out everything. I've been talking to a young man who is trying to make it in the National Basketball Association. He got hurt in college, and he's doing working for a team in Puerto Rico, and trying to come back, and he's deciding whether he should try to stick it out and fulfill his dream or not, or whether he should just go take a job somewhere. And I said, well, you got to make a decision. You can't waffle. You got to decide which way to go and cut everything else out. And I believe the universe will conspire in a way that you never imagined. I remember when I was making the decision, I was thinking about, I've been in this ministerial game for a long time. I was debating whether I should go to ministerial school. And should I or shouldn't I? I was a reluctant minister, as I like to tell folks. I know some people get up and they say, I really want to be a minister. I said, you might want to rethink that. There's a lot to it. But anyway, I made a decision that, okay, I'm going to go. And I was wondering, okay, how am I going to leave my job? How am I going to, take care of these other things? But once I made the decision, then what happened, someone had left some money for me that I didn't even know about and took care of everything I needed. And I realized that we can't make a decision based upon the visible resources. The decision causes what is invisible at that point to show up. Sometimes we've been taught to make a decision based on only what we can see, and we don't go anywhere. Because we're living from appearances, we're living from our sense consciousness, we're living from our own way of seeing the world. Someone asked me, what is an atheist? And I said, an atheist is someone who has no invisible means of support. That's what an atheist is, has no invisible means of support. We want to come out of that and keep our attention on the vision and decide and see this invisible support come to us. And the idea is that when we decide, something higher comes to us. It's largely invisible, and if we walk in the direction, then the I am, the God presence will show up. More of this will show up. The image and likeness of God will show up. The qualities of God will show up. We can't wait for a sign to move, because signs follow the decision and the consciousness. They don't precede it. It'll let you know, go this way. These things will support you along the way. You know, when I was still fumbling around whether or not I should go to ministerial school, it was about the day before I was supposed to drive up to Missouri. And I had some questions in my mind. I said, am I doing the right thing? I can't be no minister. I never saw myself doing that. And I went to a Chinese restaurant for my last supper. You know, they give you the fortune cookie in there, and so I opened up the fortune cookie and I pulled out the message in the fortune cookie, and it simply said, "You have made the right choice. Follow through." I said, okay, all right. So don't look back, except. There are some exceptions. You know, in the African tradition, there's the word sankofa, which means to turn back, to fetch, or to turn back and learn from past mistakes. That's the time to look back, to learn, or to turn back and realize that what anyone has ever done or accomplished, we can do. We just have to embody that and live that. Or just turn back to see how the presence of God has taken us so far, even when we didn't even know what we were doing. We look back and say, wow, how in the world did I get out of that? It worked out. That's the grace of God. So we turn back, we celebrate. We turn back and learn from the mistakes. We turn back to forgive ourselves and to forgive other people. Other than that, we don't turn back. We look straight ahead. We anchor our attention in the moment that is here and now. Make a decision. Cut away everything not in line with that decision. And this principle of the presence of power of God will show up. And everything will become exactly what we need even before we know we need it. It's just waiting for you and me to say yes. And we have already said yes. It has already said yes. And oftentimes we think what we see is what we are. You know, this body, this past experience, but there's more in you and me than we can see. And that more reveals itself as we are willing to step out on it. So we look at life and see where we're walking, trying to safely get to death, or living life on the layaway plan. I'll save a little bit of today to get some more tomorrow. But there's no tomorrow in God. It's only here and now. So we look back at the so-called good old days and we say, oh my God, I thought that was good. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm just getting started. I plan to soar in 2024. We get to begin over and over and over again, standing upon all of our accomplishments and turning our mistakes that sometimes look like tombstones, we turn them into stepping stones for greater good. To move to that higher ground, to look upon those hills that comes our help, that consciousness, and realize with God awareness, all things are possible. There are untold resources within us, unrealized possibilities within us, waiting to leap into expression when we decide to be big, to be more, to live God's intention for our life. And everything will work for our good. And something that we call the divine conspiracy will show up to support us so we can fly. We have to live in the sacred yes. And then we watch everything that would seemingly inhibit or block or delay or deny the fullness of the Spirit. It begins to get disintegrated and falls away. The old is destroyed and a whole new way of being will come into expression. Sometimes we may feel uncomfortable, but don't look back. We may look at the good old days and we say, don't look back. As we start to pull out excuses of why things are not working out, don't look back. We look straight ahead. We see that divine vision and we begin to pull ourselves forward. I'm telling you, as they say, God is able. The Spirit of God is real. God is your life, is my life, the entire life that there is. And beside the presence of God, there is no other. So don't look back. And together we will soar in 24. Peace and blessings to you. Well, next week, I know it's a little bit late in the month, but Reverend Deborah and Reverend Janae are going to do the white stone ceremony. I don't know if you all were here last year to do the white. It was wonderful. So they're going to do that again and to really continue to move us forward in this upcoming year and for the rest of our life, for that matter. And if you want prayer immediately after the service, just look for one of the chaplains. They're wearing the white stoles. They'll be in the courtyard. So if you have a challenge that you're trying to overcome or work through, they'll help you see it from a higher point of view. Or if you have something you want to celebrate, just join them to celebrate that. We don't have to wait till things get to a crisis to pray. We can pray right now, and even when things are good, to bring more good in our life. For those who are online watching us, if you are here for the first time, if you want to stay in contact with Spiritual Life Center, you can fill out an online welcome card, and anyone can do that. But more importantly, we want to ask if there's anyone here new today, any first-timers for the day. Just raise your hand. We'd like to give you a little something. We have two young ladies I saw coming in earlier in the service. Someone in the back, thank you so much for being here. The card, if you complete that and turn it in, we can keep you informed as to what's going on at Spiritual Life Center. There's a purple ribbon that if you'd like to wear that, you get a special greeting from our friends and members of Spiritual Life Center. And we thank you for your presence, and we affirm magnificence in your life from this day forward. For those who are online who'd like to support us with their gift or offering, you can simply go to your phone and text us at SLC Love at 44321. SLC Love at 44321. They'll give you some ways that you can give by credit card or by your, what is that other card? Whatever. Debit card. Yes. Woo, boy, James. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, and click the Donate tab. You can give in other ways, including by mail. Anything that you give will support us. And if you're watching us online, make sure to comment, subscribe, share it with other people. Because the more we do that, the more people become available to have these principles applied in their life and make a difference not only in their life, but also contribute to the difference in our world. And for those who are present today would like to give, I just invite you to take your gift or your love offering and just symbolically raise it to the heavens. And if you've given already, just know that you're in a flow of a principle that says whatever you give out, it comes back. Whatever you give, you keep energetically, and you attract more and more of that in so many different ways. And so with that awareness and that consciousness, let's affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Something great is happening. Love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now.
Something here is calling us forward. A promotion with drops in the ocean. Roll on.
Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. With the dream of your highest calling,
Be the world of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment of all our greatness. Let's stand together now.
every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blaze and shine.
Paint with every vision and dance in new direction. Just flow to new heights in your mind.
And I will rise up with you today and lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been
highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones that can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world,
Stand together,
one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. With a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Let the dream of the highest calling be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Let's stand together.
Let's stand together. As we stand together, all things are possible. Because we're together not only with ourselves, but with the presence and the power and the love of Spirit itself. So we bless those who have blessed us with their gifts and offerings, either in person, online, or by mail earlier in the week, knowing they're providing a support for those who are looking to grow and develop and unfold in their own unique ways. We know that everyone is seeking to bring out the highest and best within them. And we have an opportunity to provide an environment and a place for them that nurtures that desire. So we bless those who have supported Spiritual Life Center to be a place for so many that over the years and the years to come are looking forward to growing. Even those who don't even know they're looking for it, we're here for them, so when they're ready. You know, as that statement goes, when the pupil is ready, the teacher appears. So we're ready to appear at the right and perfect time for those who show up. We also bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box. For we are remembering that all of us have those challenges and stumbles in our life, setbacks, difficulties, questions that we cannot answer, problems that we seemingly cannot solve on our human level. But we're reminded that there's a presence, that we call it God, the Atman, the universal presence, the divine. But whatever we call it forth and know it has the answer even before we know what the question is. As that statement says in the scripture, before they call, I've already answered you. For we know that this presence only deals in divine and perfect spiritual solutions, and our job is simply to rise ourselves to be one with this energy and begin to see how seeming miracles take place in ways we never imagined. So we're blessed and grateful that we have this presence we can lean on and rest assured that all is well when we make it the activity of our awareness, our thoughts, our words, our actions. Because with this presence and any of us working together, something magnificent is in store, waiting to be expressed. And we gladly throw our arms wide open to receive it, because this makes the Spirit of God happy when we're open and receptive to receiving this presence. So we go forth knowing that we are supported, maintained, and sustained by this invisible something that we call the Spirit of the living God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. So with that, let us join together as we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Let's sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, God as creator, family all are we, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous path. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
Peace and blessings. Have a great week and hang around for some post-service music.